I think you're going to see a large evolution in the U.S. direct lending market. You're really going to see how people have done on their underwriting the past 3 to 4 years. So you're starting to see a little bit of pressure on U.S. direct lending businesses that have access to the direct lending market. And you're going to see how newer managers handle this difficult situation. How do restructurings play out? A lot of firms in the U.S. direct lending market were born post the global financial crisis, and they haven't really experienced, a heavy credit cycle. And you're really going to see how people do. This is going to be the first credit test for a lot of newer managers. Our firm, we've been doing this for over 24 years and have been through the global financial crisis and other credit cycles. So we have a really well-defined playbook, and we kind of know how that outcome played out for us before. So I think it's going to be a lot easier for newer investors to really bifurcate the managers. Who's done a good job underwriting these credits, who actually did a good job restructuring and working out difficult situations. So you really haven't had that test over the last 10 years. So it's going to be much easier for investors to really differentiate the managers. And I think the other evolution you're seeing today is really segmentation. You're starting to see a true lower middle market, companies less than 25 million of EBITDA, a more defined core middle market, which is 25 to 100 million of EBITDA, and this large cap, 100 million plus EBITDA sized businesses. And what we're seeing evolve is how investors or clients invest in direct lending. Really, there used to be just one allocation to private credit. Today, you're starting to see people allocate to a small cap, mid cap, large cap, very similar to how people access equity allocations as well. So you're starting to see that evolution play out a little bit more in clients' portfolios, which I think is the right approach. You just kind of get a little bit of everybody, and you can kind of have a well-diversified allocation across private credit. The CLO market in direct lending is much more of a financing tool than an asset gathering tool in the more traditional, broadly syndicated market. A lot of 90% or so estimated middle market CLOs or private credit CLOs are actually putting leverage on direct lending funds and BDCs. So the CLOs become a financing tool for that direct lending or BDC fund. One of the many ways we can finance those funds. You have unsecured bonds, you have traditional ABL facilities, you have CLOs as well. And so you really have that as another financing tool. So you've seen that market grow, and it's really been growing with the private credit market. They're really kind of tied together as they will grow together, and it will continue to play a very important role. As people raise larger and larger direct lending funds, they need to find additional amounts of leverage. And the CLO market is just one of the markets us direct lending managers have the ability to access to provide financing for our funds. And it also gives an access point for different types of investors. Some investors might just want to take AAA or AA type risk on direct lending assets, such as banks, where they're not taking first loss type risk. It really gives an investor that typically doesn't have the access to U.S. direct lending funds. They don't want to get into locked up drawdown vehicles. They can get into bonds of middle market CLOs, which gives them the underlying exposure to direct lending loans. So I do think you're going to continue to see the middle market CLOs, from a total size standpoint, continue to grow with the larger U.S. direct lending market. It's always great to get out and see our different investors and counterparties here. We're getting to meet with different investors, investors that are investing in our middle market CLOs. We're meeting with different counterparties such as banks and different ABL providing financiers as well, and also some of our equity investors as well. So it's always great when they put on such good events in such great locations to get together and kind of share what we're seeing in the market today, how portfolios are evolving, what we expect in the next year. And this is really the first get together kind of post the summer. So a lot of us haven't seen each other in quite some time, so it gives us a chance to reconnect with the market and kind of see everybody in person in 3D, which is why we chose to attend this year.